I realize this particular room does not have a flag in it, but I'm not gonna be the first person not to stand for the national anthem during this council meeting. No, we know where it's at. We know it's at City Hall right over there, so we'll just stand in that direction.
Okay.
So is everybody back? Dorothy, Renee, everybody here? Are they here? Do we know?
Can we tell from that?
They on did it, but what the deal is,
Well, nobody will know if they stood or not. But anyway, I'd like to call to order the April 14th, 2020 regular session of the Morrow City Council. And if we will stand to the pledge, we know the flag is over in that direction, and we'll start with that. So, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if you'll just stand for a moment of silence, please. Thank you, be seated. Thank you. Just as a point of order, obviously we are, in kind of unique territory. We are being streamed basically due to the governor's requirements for social distancing and the emergency stay-at-home order. We're complying, and the minutes will reflect that. But also the city's open for business. Our citizens have a legal right to attend this meeting. We hope they're watching on video. It's safe for them. But we have several people in the audience, and maybe more will come, and they have a legal right to do so. So we want to make sure that that's there. On the other hand, we also want to make sure that we thank our citizens for, going through the extra effort over the last, 3 or 4 weeks to, wash your hands, make sure that you're trying to stay safe. Make sure you look out for, the senior citizens in your subdivision, maybe your neighbors, maybe your own friends and family, because it's working. If you look at what's happening on a national basis, or even what's happening we had a conference call with Governor Kemp and his group today. It is working, so we got to keep it up, but at the same point, we have to open for business, or we're all going to have a financial problem that might exceed our health problem soon enough. So I realize that might make several people uncomfortable, but it's not an either or. We're going to have to get into something that's a collection of common sense, and I'm comfortable as a state and as a municipality we can do so. So that being said, on the consent agenda you have before you, we're asking for approval of the March 24th regular work session minutes, as well as the March 24th regular meeting minutes with the corrections that were stated by the city manager earlier. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I hear a second? Are my conference people, are they able to hear me? Do I have a second? I see Ms. Tran raising her hand, but I don't hear her.
We don't hear.
Okay,
Okay.
let me check.
Oh, no, you're good.
Oh, I
hear
You're
you.
good. Okay, Ms. Dean?
Here.
Okay, I'm gonna ask for the roll call of the vote. We've got a motion and a second. In a roll call of a vote, Ms. Dean? Ms. Knight? Ms. Tran?
Are they muted?
And Quan.
Who is?
So we know we have all
You
four
muted.
members, of the council here tonight, plus myself. And we have a motion and a second on the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye by roll call. Mr. Quah?
Aye.
Ms. Tran? Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Dean?
Aye.
It's unanimous, motion carries. You've all had a chance to have the meeting agenda in front of you, and I'm asking for the approval of the April 14th, 2020 agenda. Item number 7 will be deferred to a different meeting. Do I hear a motion? Ms. Tran, do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor by saying aye, voice vote. Mr. Vaughn?
Aye.
Ms. Tran?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 3, we have the appointment of the city solicitor. That is a 1-year appointment. Mr. Jerry Patrick has been the city prosecutor for, I don't know,
20 years.
it's a long time. Nobody remembers when he wasn't here. There was some discussion about how to make some adjustments for our citizens in dealing with code enforcement type of cases. I think we've solved that. So now we're asking for the appointment for a regular term for Mr. Patrick as a municipal court solicitor. Do I hear a motion?
No more.
Mr. Qua? Is there a second? Do I have a second?
So concentrated, but doesn't look like she hears us. Can you hear us, Van?
I do.
Okay, so we have a second, okay. Roll call vote. All those in favor say aye. Mr. Qua?
Aye.
Ms. Tran? Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Tell Mr. Patrick I appreciate his service. All right. And ordinances and resolutions, item number 4. So sanitation ordinance, number 3A, or 4A, 2020-03, to amend the collection of residential service. And to make sure I've got this one correct.
To amend the collection of residential refuse,
Yeah, and that's the one that,
2020-03.
right. And you've had that before you. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I make a motion.
Mr. Vaughn, do I have a second? Ms. Tran? All those in favor signify by roll call vote saying aye. Mr. Qua?
Aye.
Ms. Tran? Ms. Dean? Ms. Knight?
Aye.
How do we do that from this thing?
Ms. Dean?
She said aye. I heard her.
Well, okay, that's good.
And then you asked me. I said aye.
Okay, all right. Motion carries unanimously.
Shall I say it again?
We didn't hear it.
Yeah, you're good. My hearing could be quite bad, actually. It's a little bit of a
Okay.
delay here.
We can hear you, but we can see you, but we can't hear you, Miss Tran.
A little bit of both. Section B, which is ordinance 2020-04, which relates to the billing charge on an annual basis. You've had that before you. We've had discussion. Do I hear a motion to approve? Ms. Tran, do I hear a second?
Second?
Mr. Quad. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Roll call vote. Mr. Quad?
Aye.
Ms. Tran? Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Okay, we heard her.
And Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Resolution 2020-06, approving the 2020 Continuity of Government Plan. We've had that before us. We had some discussions in the work session. There are some appendices that still may need to be handed to us. There are some references to some forms as to how those are printed. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I make a motion.
Mr. Quat. Is there a second? Do I have a second?
Who did you have?
Okay.
Who did you have for making the motion?
Qua made the motion, and again, I have a little bit of a delay, so I'm only knowing what I'm hearing, to make it so.
Second.
Ms. Dean, did you second that motion, Ms. Dean?
Well,
Okay.
Tran just did.
Okay, Ms.
I
Tran,
did
that's
the
fine.
first motion, but there is the delay, so it doesn't matter.
We're good, we'll just, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Roll call vote, Mr. Qua,
Aye.
Ms. Dean,
Aye.
Ms. Knight,
Aye.
and Ms. Tran.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item number 5 is the approval of construction administration contract for Jester's Creek Phase 3. We've already approved the Jester's Creek Phase 3 trail system, and in this particular case, upon recommendation of the city manager, we're asking that Mark Whitley be, of Whitley Engineering, that we approve that contract and authorize the mayor to execute the contract upon review. Do I hear a motion? A motion for approval.
I make a motion.
Mr. Qua, do I hear a second? Do I have a second?
Second, Dorothy Dean.
Hey, Ms. Dean. All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye, voice vote. Ms. Dean,
Aye.
Ms. Knight,
Aye.
Ms. Tran,
Aye.
Mr. Qua.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item number 6 is the approval of a payroll request for firefighter Caleb Martin while serving with the National Guard in the amount of $77.45 per pay period, which is basically the city is being asked to authorize something within our personnel rules and regulations where one of our employees is called up to the National Guard and we pay them just a little bit more. And we've had discussions. Do I hear a motion to approve?
She did.
Ms. Tran? Do I hear a second?
Second.
Mr. Qua. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Roll call vote. Mr. Qua?
Aye.
Ms. Tran? Ms. Tran? Ms. Dean? Ms. Knight?
Aye.
I didn't catch your voice vote, Ms. Dean.
Aye.
Got it. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 7 is basically been deferred, and that leaves us with item number 8. At the interchange off of I-75, we had some discussions in the work session related to Georgia Power and the maintenance and replacement of a significant number of lights and the ability to repair those. And then the payment comes out of the hotel motel tax, and we have a legal authority as per the city attorney that those funds can be used for that purpose. So the motion we're asking for is the ability to accept the proposal from Georgia Power and authorize the mayor to execute that proposal when it comes into form. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I make a motion.
Mr. Qua? Do I hear a second? Do I hear a second? Ms. Dean?
Second? Yes.
Perfect. All those in favor say aye by voice vote. Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Tran,
Aye.
and Mr. Quat.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Comments from the city manager?
We just want to welcome Angela Hudson as our new finance director. She just started yesterday, so I know nobody is more excited than me to have her.
I bet not.
Comments from our citizens?
Can I speak about the bulk?
By all means.
Well, I want to thank y'all for the last 2 weeks. Anything y'all can do to help protect my guys. And I would explain to you earlier when I came in, we are getting more than what we're supposed to because this is from our small company standpoint. People are they're home, they're sheltered, they're bringing food home, they're bringing more garbage, and they're putting more out. And we're not gonna leave it. So we're picking it up. It's costing us, the last 30 days has been 34% increase in our disposal, just because of people being in shelter. Anything you can do to help my guys, I would appreciate it. And also, you might want to tell folks, now we've learned that this coronavirus will live for up to 3 days on a hard surface, that we touch every recycle bin at y'all's house. I would recommend on Mondays, after we run recycling, clean your bins, because you don't know what our guys have, they're touching everybody's. So it'd be easy for them just to, and not knowing they're carrying a germ somewhere. So that's just something I would like to, I have a son that is a paramedic, so he tells me all these things. So that's just something I wanted to bring up, that folks might want to clean their bins on Mondays after we have. And if they don't want us to come to their house, I would suggest turn that bin upside down. Our guys won't touch it if they don't want us to touch it. You know, turn it upside down, our guys will know. I'll tell them, don't, if it's upside down, do not go to that house, do not touch that bin. So that's just because the garbage is in bags. So that's easier for us just to grab and run and go. And if you want what other cities have done, I can share that with you at any time. You're welcome to call me.
Okay.
You know, in advance, give me permission to come tonight.
Okay, very good.
So thank y'all again for the last 2 weeks.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Thank
and
you.
thank you all, and be safe and be well.
We're trying, we're trying. Every day I pray for my guys.
Comments from the city council? Mr. Quat?
No comment?
Ms. Dean?
I'd like to say thank you to, that was from the sanitation department.
Yes.
Yes, I'd like to say thank you because I see the, guys out here every, on the days that they pick up, and thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Ms. Knight?
No comments at this time.
Ms. Tran?
No comment.
And I have no comments. So the meeting, remember, we're gonna have the, an interview with Mr. Moody directly following the meeting of the city council. So the meeting is adjourned.